All right, I'm out here doing another garden chore. As you can see, I'm back here where my compost cans used to be, but they weren't heating up back here. I mean, I'm getting more light now because, of course, we're going into winter. Well, what is today? The first day of winter, I think. But had some ants actually took up residency, so I ended up dumping all of my compost out over here, and now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start transferring all of this side over here, covering it and all around the edges, you know, making walls. So hopefully it will start heating up, and when it does, I won't have to worry about ants and things like that living in there. So that's what I'm out here doing right now. Good morning, family. Good morning, family. Don't forget, grow some trees, grow some food, grow something. Let's get started. So the other day a storm came through here, and we not only got hit with a lot of rain, but it actually dropped some hail. And then we had freezing temperatures, well, frost-like temperatures for 2 nights in a row. And sadly, my basil didn't make it. Thai basil's looking pretty sad. And this tomatillo, it's a purple tomatillo, and the plant itself is looking pretty raggedy, but it's got all these non-ripe little tomatillos on there. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and snatch that out. And everything else though is mostly, I see, mostly greens, and they're doing pretty well, except this little tomato. It did have, uh-oh, see, that's the end of that. Yeah, it had a little tomato on it, but I mean, there's another one down there. I'm not gonna mess with it, but I think it's just too cold. Yeah, I mean, you can see that it just kind of broke off. So, but everything else, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and I'm pretty sure there's a caterpillar on here. Oh, there it is, right there. Look at that. Camouflaged so well. Look at that ugly little creature. So, where there's one, I'm pretty sure there's another one. So, I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm kind of tired of picking caterpillars off, so I am just going to go ahead and dust it. But everything else is doing all right. I mean, of course, if you've ever grown in the winter and in the fall, everything grows really, really slowly. But over here we've got the cabbages and the cauliflower and a couple more broccoli. More cabbages, and like I said, whatever it was that keeps digging my stuff up, these are my peas that have survived. So hopefully get a couple of them, but everything else, it is just way too cold, and you know, they've been dug up several times, so they're struggling. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull them. But, you know, this is winter gardening. The funny thing is, I still have bulbs just coming up everywhere. So I don't know if they're confused or if I'm confused. But you guys want to see what makes me so angry? This is what pisses me off about all of these stupid gophers and everything else. Look at all of my, look at it. Oh my goodness. Look, they just demolished them. The gophers just came up under them and just burrowed everywhere. This is what really got me. I came out here the other day and I was looking at my sticks on fire, and it was literally laying over. Look at that. There is a huge gopher hole under there. It just came through and just ate all the roots off of it. So I'm gonna leave it in there, and hopefully it's going to root again for me. I started that from a little stick from my friend's house, and I'm really hoping that it will root for me again. Also, the winds that we had, that storm, it pretty much snapped this little trellis. So although it did snap the trellis, there are tomatoes on here, and they are actually doing fine. So this is a Jubilee tomato. It literally has been growing all year long, and as soon as the temperatures dropped, all of a sudden it started producing. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to stand that back up. So I've already started picking my Meyer lemons, and as you can see, still have more. And we've got blossoms coming and new growth. Swiss chard, and like I said, that freeze, it just killed some things. So all of my cucamelons, they are just, I mean, they're not even ripe all the way. And I don't know, I'm gonna try to give it a chance to bounce back, see what it does, see if these continue to ripen. I really don't think they will, but like I said, there was quite a few of them on here. They're all still a lime green color, but vines are looking really, really shabby. I keep forgetting there's actually carrots down in here. These guys are little tiny guys. They've been in here a long time too. Look at that. Oh, and there's another one. Take those in. And this beat up little tomato over here is still hanging in there. This was actually a volunteer, and it took a little bit of a beating from the weather, but it's actually still producing. I picked almost every single lime off of this Mexican lime tree. There's still a couple on there, but as you can see, it's blooming also. So far, this is what gardening in the winter time looks like in SoCal. But I'm quite sure there are other people who are doing a lot more successful than I am. And then there are some who may be doing worse, but you know what? That's just gardening for you. Some things work out, some things don't. And last but not least, I will show you the loquats. So got quite a few blooms on here, and the strawberries. The girls have been out here picking them, but so far so good with everything. But that's one thing I do like about winter gardening. It is about as low maintenance as you can get. You actually have time to do other things, take care of the inside of your house, and the other projects that you might have been working on. Look at that beautiful bloom. That is just so pretty. That's the one thing about citrus blooms that I love. They're just beautiful. You guys want to see something interesting? So do you see this twig? These spikes on here? Well, this broke off I can't remember if it was either my Mexican lime or the Meyer lemon. I'm thinking it's the Mexican lime. Either way, it was a nice sized branch. I didn't want to let go of it, so I actually came over here and I just stuck it in this food grade bucket. Well, when all of this started to grow back, this was just dying off. So I came over here this morning because it's been pretty crispy for a couple of months now. And I started to pull it out, but I wanted to check the root part because the root part has always stayed green, the part of the stem down towards the base. And, you know, just coming to try to see if it actually was rooting or not. And look what I found this morning. Do you see that? It's actually growing off of this stem. So, didn't use any rooting hormone, nothing special. This was actually some old soil that was just left in these buckets. After, what was I growing over here? I had chamomile, broccoli, and I think I had one cauliflower growing over here. And from last season, well, the season before last. And I just actually came over here and just stuck the broken branch down in there. And look at that, it has rooted. So I'll come out later and just cut off this dead part and see what happens. All right, so we might get my shadow in this picture because it's early morning and the sun is behind me, but I wanted you guys to see how beautiful this is. Look at the blue paradise. We are about to have some beautiful blooms on here. These guys are gorgeous and just so fleshy. Look at that color. It's one thing I learned when I started putting this garden in. You always want to make sure you have things that bloom at different times of the year. That way you don't have everything that blooms in the spring and the summer, and then when fall and winter come around, your garden is just bare and brown. This year is a little bit strange. We got things popping up that usually pop up at other times and other seasons, and they're coming up now. Like I said, I got a bunch of bulbs popping up, and they started popping up in the fall. And I'm not complaining because like I said, I'm happy. I love having color in my garden all year round. And then I have others that just kind of are gone. This whole bed over here was just destroyed by a gopher, which is still just having its way at it. I mean, look at this mound here. It is now up under my Tropicana. It took out both the little yuccas I had here. And hopefully my rose mallow will come back, both of them. And if not, I'm just gonna have to redo this entire bed. Oh, the waste baskets, yeah, that's because the squirrels come over here and for some reason they eat the leaves off of my little hibiscus. I don't know why. They do it to two others over there too, so. Look at this guy. I kind of just let him roam around. I don't know whose cat it is, but he chases the squirrels, so I don't bother him. Hi. All right, we're gonna take one more quick peek over here. So this is the other thing I was going to do today, is cut down all of this sedum. As you can see, it is nice and dry. Still gives me beautiful little, I guess you could say, interest for the winter. But take a look down there. Yep. They're coming in. beautiful little rosettes. So I'm going to cut off the old part and let the new come in. And then I'm also going to pull that out of there because that's a palm frond. But they're so beautiful. So everything is coming in early. Like I said, I'm not going to complain. My little beauty is always blooming.